Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Grosvenor Casino, Gloucester Road. With me today, Alan Hudson as normal, John Sitton. We've been away for a little bit, John.
Yeah,
Everything okay?
It's like the return of Butch and Sundance, isn't it?
Yeah, you've survived the lockdown.
I see him on Netflix.
Who's Butch? Who's Butch?
Look at the colour of him, look.
Yeah, look at the colour of him. Look at the colour of him.
What part of Jamaica are you from? Jesus Christ, unbelievable.
Yeah,
well, we've had a lot of football. A lot's been going on. We've missed you and the casino, obviously, Assam and the guys who look after us all the time. We spoke all week about Chelsea Football Club. You guys both played for Chelsea.
Yeah, the brief.
Unbelievable start to the season now. The start was a bit slow, but now they look as though they're in top gear right now. And we've been talking about the best team over the last 50 years for Chelsea. You pick yours. I'm in the middle. So, I'm going to have a nice little afternoon there listening to these two.
I've changed mine four times already.
It's mainly because it's 50 years of when we won the FA Cup. The first time Chelsea had ever won the FA Cup. So, is it a coincidence that Frank's manager and...
right.
Will he be the most successful player and manager of all time? There's so many talking points.
Well, he's only just started the manager, and obviously he looks as though he's got it more or less dead right now. The keeper's been tremendous. The new guy they brought in.
Yeah, from Rennes, yeah.
Yeah, it does seem to have installed a lot of confidence. But let's go straight on to the best team that you think over the last 50 years, Chelsea. And they've had some amazing players, some incredible players, I must say.
Yeah.
It was scary, actually, when you come up with the teams and the people you left out.
Yeah.
Well,
have you both agreed on one thing? The keeper. Peter Cech?
Go on. Yeah.
Peter Cech?
Yeah.
Checkmate.
I've gone with
well,
Cech.
you got to go with Peter Cech because of the modern day goalkeeper being so big in our day. 50 years ago, Peter Bonetti, pound for pound, was the best. But the modern day goalkeepers,
I mean, he was a tremendous keeper as well. I mean, he had everything, didn't he?
Listen, Don, you can pick holes in anyone's game. You know what I mean? I played with, like Alan, I played with Peter, like Catty, they called him. Johnny Phillips, I thought Johnny Phillips was better distribution and more commanding.
Right.
But you played with very old Peter Bonetti. I played with him when he was...
Fair enough. Yeah.
1970, he went to the World Cup as an understudy to Gordon Banks. I see him in the early 60s.
Yeah.
You played with him in the 80s. So Catty was...
Coming to the end.
Yeah,
coming at the end,
very much so.
Yeah.
And he still hadn't bought a drink by then, you know that.
But he was a Chelsea legend, wasn't he? I mean, he was.
Of course.
When the cat was in goal, you must have sort of thought, well, they got to
and who was the other
blind that beat him.
Go on.
The other cat, come on.
There was a goalkeeper.
Stevens.
No, the goalkeeper, Stevens.
Yeah.
Very good.
You don't get no better than this.
Have you brought a joke book while we've
He's got the cravat on and everything today. He thinks he's in France or something.
No, I've missed the round, so I'm about to start round with my wife again. I've missed all the arguments with you.
No, they had a goalkeeper at Norwich City called Kevin Keelan, didn't they?
The cat,
right.
He called him the cat.
The cat. He was out in Florida. He was out in Florida, Keelan.
Yes, absolutely.
He looked at your sort of tan. A bit darker, mate.
Yeah, but he went on the sunbed.
Yeah. That was another cat. So you settled on the keeper, Peter Cech. I've got to agree with you. I do like that.
Calming influence, good distribution, nice lump, isn't he?
Yeah.
Commanding.
I mean, it does seem as though the taller the keeper, obviously it's harder to beat and stuff. When they
don't matter what team.
I don't know if they play today on the floor.
My team will beat his team. It don't matter what.
All right, okay. Well, let's have. We're going for the right back. Hold on. I'm in charge here.
Go on, Don.
We're going for the right back. You've gone for Reece James, which I like. It's like a new kid coming. It's the sort of first real sort of season where he's powering into the team. I love the way he crosses the balls. Trent Alexander-Arnold and this kid James, they're two alike when they get down the outside. They hit tremendous balls in. Now, obviously, we know defenders are there to defend. I've not seen him that much. What do you think of him as a defender?
I agree with you in terms of him breaking forward. He suits the formation. He suits the pattern of play. Fantastic delivery. I want my defenders to defend. That's why I'm opposing you.
Right.
If I'm talking as for the kids, I'm talking as a coach. I'm talking in his pomp, in his prime. Since the day he walked into the ground, not so much the last couple of years because age catches up with everyone, but I've gone for Azpilicueta.
I'm glad you.
When you look at him, if you're coaching a kid about how to defend, how to be patient, how to jockey, follow the movement of the ball.
Out of panic.
Latter day. Listen, I'm thinking to myself.
Wait,
last couple
come on,
of years,
you two. We're talking about Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm going.
Chelsea are going to be so much a better team without him this year. Trust me.
Okay.
They got 2 fullbacks
Maybe this
now.
year, but he was over the years. How long has he been there?
I've automatically assumed we're picking everyone in their prime.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Right, well,
so in their prime,
we'll agree to disagree on Gabriel.
Can you say his name again?
Azpilicueta.
All right. Okay. So Alan's gone to Reece James, which I like because he's the modern day player. I do like him, James.
Great future.
Now the area which you might agree again. I'm not sure. We'll go to the other side. We'll go to the left back number. You've gone, Alan, for Ashley Cole.
I was pulled up the other day by a friend of mine. In his pomp, Eddie McCready was the best left back in the world. But that was
he used to get picked with the World 11 on a regular basis.
World 11. Him, Jim Baxter and Dennis Law were picked every time they picked the World 11, and Eddie was no doubt.
They're Three Scotsmen, though. How do they pick them?
Because
they don't win a game, Scotland, do they?
Not really.
Well, they beat us in '67.
That's right. Yeah.
They started.
We'd already won the World Cup. So
without the Scottish, the English wouldn't have had a game. They had the best players in the league.
No, I agree. Dennis Law, Jim Baxter, Eddie McCready,
and actually the best managers.
Right.
So you should be ashamed of yourself being half Scottish.
My old man's from Bowness. My mum's from Glasgow, but I'm from London. Absolutely. So Ashley Cole, who you gone with?
For me, look, in my book, it was the toss of a coin. The best left back that England's ever produced was either Ashley Cole or Kenny Sansom. And at the time, I picked Kenny, but now I've changed my mind.
Right.
When did he play with Chelsea?
Sometimes you've got to hold your hands up. So, in answer to your question, without question, it's Ashley Cole.
Ashley Cole,
right? Because I think he's the best left back that England's ever produced.
You've gone for. Going to go for this. Got to be John Terry, isn't it?
Well, not necessarily.
No.
But I have. Yeah.
Addy,
I've gone for JT.
Why are you gone for JT?
Very combative. A great leader, great talker. When you could see the whole pitch, apart from the keeper, you got the best view of the pitch. You need people to boss people. It was different class at that. A leader. He put his body on the line. Comfortable on the ball.
He seemed a Chelsea guy as well, though, didn't he? Well, his heart was at Chelsea.
Yeah, so that's half the thing, isn't it? I mean, given the choice, I'd have stayed there for 15 years. I'd have dressed up in drag and been a washer lady.
Well, you did.
Well, what's your view on him, John Terry?
I think he's as good a centre half I've ever seen. I see him as a kid. I know. Yeah, one of the World Cup winners.
Yeah.
French World Cup winners. But he played alongside them and he got them out of so much trouble. He was so good as a kid.
Right.
And I tell you what, he never really got to his best because he had a bad knee injury. If you watch him play, he always had a kind of half a limp.
Right.
And he had a bad.
Wow.
And he not only could he play centre half, like John can talk about these people that can hit people.
I mean, if you're looking, it's a 0-0 or they're getting beat 1-0. The one fella who's going to get the goal would be him.
Oh, great.
He's great in both boxes,
yeah. And he's obviously a leader for the team. I think he was inspirational with the boys.
If it is when you win a team, you're looking to get goals from as many areas of the team as you can, and he always pitched in with half a dozen a year, didn't he?
No, I mean obviously whatever he was doing, every time he bombed forward, you could actually feel something was going to happen. You could see definitely there'd be a chance at goal. Yeah. And he went up for him. He used to get probably
the only downside,
60-70% of it.
The only downside, they cancelled his membership at the Wellington.
That was your old haunt, wasn't it? The Wellington?
No, that was a pub. He was talking about a casino.
Oh, right. So John,
I think we got our captain as well.
So we put him as captain, yeah? Captain John.
Yeah.
Okay. We both agreed on him. Now this is the one that I don't think the Chelsea fans are going to buy into.
Nobody will get it. Nobody.
But I actually like this guy. I've seen him play a lot, sort of in my era, just sort of, he might have been finishing up a bit. You've gone with John Dempsey.
Yeah. I love the...
I did see the goal he scored against Real Madrid, so that goes for...
Absolutely. He scored a stunning goal.
We used to have a five-a-side as I was coming through the ranks. He'd score in a five-a-side. He'd go, Athens!
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. You get the winning goal against Real Madrid. I mean, not everyone does that.
I was 18. I was making headway. Unbelievable. Captain the reserves, right? I got topped at Swindon, right? In the combination. I've clipped the ball forward. That was one of these old school, you know what I mean? A right villain. He's left his foot in, so... I'm in the treatment room. He frightened the life out of me, Dempsey. I'm Eddie Franklin was the physio. I've got the electrodes on and all that. And he went, sit. So I went, Dempsey, all right. He went, ankle ligaments? I went, yeah. He said, I've heard your leg's got to come off. That's what he used to say all the time.
Oh, that was nice.
Your leg's got to come off.
Confidence.
Yeah.
Be all right. You get the insurance.
It was class. One of the
funny. So come on, what was he like? Could he come out the back with the ball or not, or was he not that? No, that wasn't his game.
He was very straightforward. I was a Fulham supporter as a kid. I watched him play. I loved him. I actually made my debut with him at Southampton. We got beat 5-0. I think he gave the fuck. No, he didn't. But I'd never played with a centre half.
Right.
At Arsenal, Chelsea, Stoke City, Seattle, who rarely made a mistake. That's how I judge a centre half. I'm sure you made many, John.
Oh,
Don't say you didn't.
No, I made 2.
People do make.
You made 2.
I made 2 at Chelsea.
I made 2.
I
200.
I got rolled in the box. John Richards at the Wolves.
Yeah.
Right.
And the other one,
a decent forward.
The other one, the other mistake I made was kicking Frank Worthington. He knocked me out.
Don't kick Frank. Yeah.
No, Demp's never made a mistake. And when you get, they're very rare players, and he's never. I bet he's never been man of the match in his life.
Right.
He's one of those.
Mr. Consistent.
Oh, mate, he was just ultra consistent.
I mean, from a coach's point of view, you've been in that line of work. You want consistency from players. Someone at the back does the job, does it regularly,
8 out of 10 every week.
And bang, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
So we've gone with the defence. So we've got like James and Cole, the fullbacks. We're playing 4 at the back. We've got Terry and Dempsey. Who was your man?
Well, you know, when they go like forwards, big and good Litland, I thought good, terrific man marker, quick, wiry, a little bit naughty. I've gone Carvalho, and it was a toss up between him and the World Cup winner who Mr. Potato Head had a pop at Desai. He won a lot. Desai, European Championship, World Cup with France, European Cup with AC Milan, double with Chelsea. So it was not preempting you, but I've made him one of the rubber dubs. Desai.
Right.
He's in the rubber.
What do you guys think out there? Carvalho, Dempsey? I don't know.
Good debate, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Debate,
so we got our defence sorted out. I do like that defence. I think you got the 2 fullbacks. Like when we're looking at the Liverpool fullbacks, you know, we're looking at them guys who we would have to say maybe the best in the league. They've proved they can do it. These 2 can do exactly the same as them. Ashley Cole was good at getting down the outside, whipping balls in, scored the odd goal. And this kid, James, he can do exactly what Trent Alexander-Arnold's doing. Well, and he might be a better defender than him.
1v1, you never get past Ashley.
No.
1v1. Him and Kenny, the 2 top, they're both top draw.
We're talking about Chelsea.
I know we're talking about Chelsea. I know.
Kenny was England, Arsenal, whatever.
Yeah.
So we've got the defence sorted out. They're our 4 with Peter Cech in goal. Actually, to be honest with you, I like that. I like that team. I'm not sure where I go with your right back or James. He is a good player, a good consistent player. Played well with Chelsea.
Yeah.
This kid's a new kid in town.
I got to say, mention something else here.
Yes, please do.
When I picked my team, I thought every one of my players has got that extra bit of class.
Right. He has had a lot of time to think about it, in all fairness, John. Lying on the beach in Gran Canaria.
I'll knock this up this morning. And last night, I was driving the Sherbet. I was thinking about it last night. I said, you've got a thing there. I've done your formation. I've got a modern formation.
Right, yeah.
And my players can adapt.
Yeah, but my players, my back four can say, go and gun play. When you lose it, we'll get it back and we'll just give it.
You're right back.
I do like that.
I just wanted to defend.
Let's stick with the class element.
Right.
My team
hold on.
Sheer class.
Right, okay. Midfield. Right. So, you've obviously, looking at this, you've gone the sort of 4-2 sort of like holding, moving forward. We got the Eden Hazard. Will you agree with that?
I have. Yeah,
I've got him on. I've agreed again.
Yeah, well, I think what you got to add here, you know, there's these Christmas tree formations, this formation, that formation. My team's a team based on, as we used to play at Chelsea, and any team I'd ever have. I played 4-2-4 when we got the ball, and a 4-4-2 when we haven't got it, meaning the 2 wide players become defenders.
They link up or drop back or whatever,
So Eden Hazard is not really a winger as such. I think we'll go on to that one when we talk about the fella on the left.
Yeah. But Hazard was incredible with Chelsea. He's not seemed to have done it where he's gone
I've rode him in. You've got him in? I've got 4 diamonds too. No, yeah, but you've got to let me explain, Don.
All right, go on then.
In front of the back.
How long
in front of the back 4. Well, I'll be quick, right? Because there's not a lot to say about it. Right? I've got him in front of the centre backs, getting the passing going.
Yeah.
So what I want to do, I want to explain that.
What do you mean him?
Huddy.
Mr. Hudson.
Lord Hudson.
You know me. I don't give a monkeys, right? And it's got me in trouble. My mouth's got me in trouble, right, in the past. Right? We're talking about the best Chelsea players of the last 50 years. Yeah. I ain't saying it because he's here, because I don't care, because he knows I'll have a row. Yeah. Right? But I've got him in the side, and I've got him in front of the centre backs, getting the ball off the back 4, getting us playing. Right.
So we agree on Eden Hazard. I think tremendous.
Yeah, I've got him.
Now, obviously, you're going to say that Huddy will take the Canty role. He's gone to Canty
because he had the engine and all. He weren't only a class player, but he had the engine. People forget that he and you're talking. Listen, you're talking about. I watched him the other week on the telly in the big match where he played on. You're talking about. I don't want to give him a bigger head than it already is. But like you're talking about turnip fields.
Yeah.
You understand?
Swamps.
It was I thought we was in Florida. It was a Stoke 4, Man City 0.
I've changed my mind about you. You should have been manager of England.
He made 1 and scored 1. Well, you know what I do with my team? I'll just say, here's the ball, chaps. We've had a little rehearsal in the week, right? All the best. Okay, don't make me do me that. I'm just going upstairs for a gin and tonic. I'll see you after in the bar. Simple as that.
So you must surely. This has got to be a gimme, isn't it? Frank Lampard.
I've got Frankie. Yeah, I've got Frankie. Yeah.
Hey,
I mean, this team
well in favour here.
This team, this will win the Grand Prix, the Grand National, the Derby, right? The World Cup, the Champions League, and the Premier League. And what we might do, I'll just play the reserves in the FA Cup and the League Cup just to give them a rest.
The Man United one, just pull them all out.
Is this along the same lines as Chelsea can't win the league about 6 weeks ago?
Oh, whoa. He's listened. He's got to sort the other end out. And what's he done? He sorted the other end out. He sorted earlier. Yeah, Silver's come in and calmed it all down.
Yeah,
he had that little thing where he had the ball pinched in his first game. He's gone, hold on. They've gone, welcome to the Premier League. All of a sudden, it's woke him up. And now he's bought a lovely car.
The goalkeeper's changed everything.
They look the real deal at the back at the moment. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. You've gone to Kante. Tell us.
Yeah, but
when he won the league with Leicester, he was tremendous. He come to the bridge. He looked good, and then it all sort of seemed to drift away a little bit with him. Tell us a bit about him.
Again, it's management, and you don't change a player, change his role. You don't buy a player.
Do we think that's his best role?
The same thing that happened to Kante coming to Chelsea was the same thing that happened to Frank coming to Chelsea from West Ham. They played him in the wrong position. They could have got rid of him after 18 months, Frank.
Right.
Because he weren't doing it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, they changed his role. They tried him 2 or 3 roles, and they put him exactly where he should have been, and that's playing right behind the striker.
How many goals did he get a season, Frank? From the midfield
minimum 25.
20
Did he really?
Yeah,
that many?
Yeah, he's a record scorer now, isn't he?
He's
a record scorer. He's a record scorer.
I mean, that's tremendous. Isn't it? How does he get that many goals?
It
never happened again, will it? Midfield player?
No.
Not in the history of the game. You can't score that many goals.
I mean, centre forwards don't get that many.
No, absolutely. Especially Chelsea.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
You know, so I mean, that is
what you said about Kennedy. Spot on. Who was it? Was it Conte that played him out of position, or the other geezer?
Yeah.
Played him out of position.
Yeah.
But would you give the shirt up for Kante?
I'm with you.
I'll put you in. I'll put you in that position.
John, I'm with you. I think Huddy would be in.
I think you should be in it.
I agree.
Were you embarrassed?
Not at all.
Well, you should be in it. So I'm right.
No, he didn't want to pick himself.
He didn't want to pick himself.
I think the fans out there who've seen him in his heyday, they would definitely agree.
Fans out there will pick players in front of me, and I'm not bothered about that. We as individuals, we know how good a player we were. I was a better player at Stoke than I was at Chelsea because I played in the role that I love to play in. At Chelsea, they moved me about. I was messed about at Chelsea, and I didn't like it, so I moved on. And I found the man to play me inside forward, and I was an inside forward. Kante looked an unhappy. He looked like he'd won the World Cup as well. He looked like he'd never played the game for the first year at Chelsea.
Yeah, he did look
because they put him in a bad role. Chelsea's supporters are going mad about Frank the first season. He's no good from West Ham.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, they put him in the right role and he started banging in the goals right.
Well, I mean, when he was at Leicester, I mean, he used to get the ball, he'd win the ball, he'd get it, he'd play it easy, he'd be scoring a few goals, he'd get to the top of the box, and you just never see him do anything wrong.
But I think people as well, Don, they got the wrong impression of this fella. This fella can really play. He's a terrific footballer. He's so comfortable on the ball. And
how's that make him then? We're picking him in front of it.
Well, me personally, yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's really good. So,
but that's good that
you've gone for Ruddy.
Yeah.
He's gone
for
Kante.
Yeah.
I've gone for Huddy myself, although Kante's tremendous player.
I would deep.
Now, this next guy, I think he's the ace in the pack. I used to love this fella, and he was an handful. He's gone for Robin.
Arjen Robin.
Yeah.
Well, as a fullback, you would.
Well, he's your nightmare of a nightmare.
He's a nightmare. He's your worst nightmare.
He'd come in, he'd clip that little goal in, with the, just bend it in. He'd give the fullbacks inside out. They wouldn't know which way he's going.
I remember used to go when he was playing. I remember used to going to a little club in the afternoon with a couple of my family, and in this club in Parsons Green, they used to back Chelsea to win 4-0 the season they won the league, and under the first season, second season. And they had it off so many times, winning 4-0. And he was making all the goals. He was the one doing all the damage. Damien Duff was on the other wing, if I'm right.
Yeah.
He was a man. He was just so majestic. And he went to Bayern Munich and done it Bayern Munich, and he done it in that league and done it for in the Dutch team. Fantastic.
Blistering pace, running trickery, a lot. Yeah.
I mean,
Marfor's different. You've got
what do you think of it?
Yeah, I agree with what you said, but Marfor's different. I've gone.
You got Peter Rose Brown.
I've gone Uddy. No, I've gone Uddy, and then to the right of Uddy, I've gone Lampard.
Yeah,
and to the left of Uddy, I've gone Eden Hazard.
Right. And who you got on the other side then?
Well, like I said, I've gone modern. I've gone 4 diamond 2.
Well, who'll be your other midfield man? Who's your other midfield man?
I've gone for the geezer that was
Zola.
Yeah, I've gone for Zola. He was voted Chelsea's greatest ever player.
I must say, I like Zola as well, but
it's open to conjecture. But I've got him off the front too. 4 diamond 2. I've got him playing off the front too.
Actually, this would be a good team to manage, wouldn't it? You wouldn't have to do nothing here. Just give them the shirts and say, out you go.
I've even got the manager.
You wouldn't need a coach.
Eddie Mack. Yeah, of course you wouldn't.
No.
but what? I still
come on.
I still want the job because we're me and Eddie Mack are going to have a vodka and tonic.
Absolutely. Why not? Glass of wine. Now, look, we're going to go to the business end now. As in, who's going to get the goals? We've got Lampard getting 20, 25 goals. This is going to be such a high-scoring team, isn't it?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
You've gone to your mate, great player. I played against him, real difficult. Peter Osgood.
That's an understatement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they
come on, tell us about Ozzy. You loved him as a fellow.
He was the king of Stamford Bridge, wasn't he? He was that confident. He even thought that they've named Royal Windsor after him because he came from Windsor. He really thought that. But he also knew, I've never seen someone with such self-confidence. Yeah, and when he didn't, I think we'll all agree on one thing. You know how good a player is when they're not playing.
Yeah.
You know, and when he didn't play for us, mate, we knew where we were going to
double hard to get.
You just mentioned that this team are going to get goals. We would struggle to get goals without Osgood. And that was how good he was, and he got us. He got us to the.
I mean, he's a bit nasty as well, Ozzy, wasn't he? You know, you couldn't bully him as a centre half. He did as good as he got.
That's because he broke his leg at early age, Don. And Emily Hughes broke his leg in the League Cup one night, Blackpool, and he vowed when he came back it wouldn't happen again.
Right.
And he was the one that come out with always get your retaliation in first.
Right.
That was what he used to say, and that's why he become nasty.
Right.
You know.
But no, he was a tremendous player.
I was only a kid. He come back to the bridge for the second time as I was a kid coming through.
Right.
And he come on and I've been lined out a couple of times at Bolton, Frank Worthington. Peter Reid went over the top on me. People pulling out.
He must have been jumping out of the way, Reid.
No, Reid, he come in, he waited for me and he went. And
you're centre half and you're letting people go over the top of you.
What can you do? I was an honourable boy. I was an honourable boy. I played the ball. But we're lining up for a corner at the near post and I just heard crack. You know what I mean? I looked round the geezer's got Alan Gowley. What's that about? It was all over the gaff.
Right.
Ozzy's turned around. He said, someone's got to look after the kids. Yeah. But I remember I've done a podcast for the 1905, the Chelsea supporters last night. Right. And I've got to say this, right? And they asked me about memories, bits and pieces, making your debut, playing at home to Liverpool, winning, reigning European champions, the bits and pieces away at the Arsenal. My old man always wanted to see me run out at Highbury, blah, blah, blah. But I said it was the little things. I remember coming off the pitch at Highbury in the combination. Ozzy put his arm and he said to me, "Sits, great service, son. Just keep it coming like that. Like that." So it's the little things that gave you a G.
No, it does, yeah. It does give you a right.
And a lovely man.
He said that to everyone, John.
Well,
but it's nice that someone does say it.
He went out of his way.
You're a young guy in the team,
He went out of his
How
way.
do you behave yourself?
He went out of his way. He went out of his way to try and.
So Ozzy for sure.
I've gone with Ozzy. Yeah, I've gone with Ozzy as well.
Right now, Ozzy obviously great player, always been a Chelsea boy, good finisher, great touch as well, and looked after himself. He couldn't get bullied. He just took care of business. And
what would he be worth now? What would he be worth now?
Every single player in this team is
Alan's paid him
100 million plus, isn't it? The whole forward line has to be.
I think he could play in any era. Alan's paid him that compliment, and that's the compliment. The compliment I would pay him. I'd just say, aside from the broken leg as a kid, honestly believe he could play in any era.
Did he get much with England? Did he get anything with England? Does he? Did he get?
No, he got about 5 caps.
That's it.
Yeah.
And again, it's bullshit when they're just giving a decent amount of caps.
When you see him whistling, coming back from a shopping expedition, leading up to the Brazil game in 1970, I'll still maintain if he'd have been bought on the sub, instead of Astle, may they both rest in peace. But
certainly,
I think with a 1-on-1 with a keeper, I think we'd have nicked a draw against the Brazilians.
Yeah, Ozzy
he should have been. He should have been playing. What's the point in taking him?
Yeah, we all liked him. So we got one spot left up front in this super Chelsea team. It really is. It's an incredible side. Looking at it, you've gone for Drogba.
Well, I think the modern day supporter would agree with that. He was one of those players. It was quite enigmatic, really. He was know that word?
He's on one, isn't he?
Yeah,
no, he's
that is water. By
I've seen him play when he looked like he'd never played the game before in some matches. But what I loved about Drogba, he was a big match player. The bigger the match, Osgood was a big match player. You get some of these players when it gets to, and you got your international players. There's certain players in certain teams that they go up a level, they can't play. That's why England have struggled for years. We've always picked average players. But Drogba, the header he scored in the Champions League final, I can't think of many people who scored that header. He just loved.
But he had energy as well, didn't he? He had that stride, didn't he, John? Boom, you get in between the centre half and the full-back.
Absolute beast.
He's a monster,
powerhouse.
He played against Arsenal. I think he beat them on his own every time. I don't think he'd never played in a game where he'd never scored. When Arsenal had a good team.
Right.
This fella, him and Osgood up front, I think John might have the flu that day.
Speak for yourself. You speak for yourself.
Love it.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. What I'll go.
Get tight seats. Get tight.
He's gone too late.
Too late.
Oh my God. 3-0.
Round the corner, John. Round the corner.
I can't believe I've agreed with him again. I can't believe it.
Have you gone with him?
I've only gone with Drogba.
No,
I've agreed with him again.
I'm not having this.
No, I have.
He looked at my team, hasn't he?
All right. Well, yeah. Okay. So the lineup: Czech, James, Terry, Dempsey, Carvalho, Cole, Hazard, Lampard, Hudson, Kanté, Zola, Robin, and you both agree on
the front two.
Ozzy.
Yeah.
Well, the great thing about the front two,
I mean, that is an incredible team.
Incredible.
Absolutely.
Side.
Mine's far better, but it is. There's no doubt about it.
Look,
because he's got
me rattled. I was trying to pour the water out with the top on it. He's got me rattled,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen what I'm going to say, right? Listen what I'm going to say. The thing with Drogba.
So we've gone 4-4-2.
We were talking about, me and Alan, I think we were talking about Mickey Droy earlier.
Yeah.
So I was talking to him last night. I said he looked like Desperate Dan, and at times he played like Desperately Seeking Susan. I said he needed a Bunsen burner lit up under his knackers. I said, but this is the thing with Drogba as well, because he used to say, didn't he, Jose? He used to say, he's like, you should be embarrassed. They're laughing at you. He's taking the mickey out of the centre back because he allowed the centre back. Then all of a sudden, it lit the touch paper, and then if he wanted to, he could go out and bully centre backs.
Oh no,
had a lot of pace, power.
When he was in his full stride and he's coming at you, I mean, my goodness,
I can't believe I've agreed with him.
He was a powerhouse, Right, so that's the 11 which we think for the last 50 years would be the best Chelsea team. The subs, I mean, let's go for obviously the keeper. Have you gone for He's gone for Peter Benetti. Who have you gone for?
Yeah, I've gone for the cat.
He's gone for the
I've
cat.
gone for the cat.
So the cat, you're the reserve keeper, which I like.
6 on the bench. I've gone for the modern.
You've gone for 6 on the bench.
Yeah.
Alan's gone for 3. All right. Now, you've gone for someone which obviously was one of the greatest players, Ruud Gullit.
Yeah, the reason I got.
I mean, how can he be a sub in any team? Ruud Gullit.
The reason he ain't the first man on the team sheet is because he wasn't at Chelsea. He didn't play at Chelsea that long.
Right.
You know, he played there for a little while. They brought him in as a kind of. He was a midfield player. They played him as a sweeper. He was magnificent. He was. I remember me and Tony Amenez sat down one night and we spoke about probably the greatest talent ever been at which Jimmy Greaves was obviously the one that comes to mind, but he was in the 60s. But it must have been Ruud Gullit. But he wasn't long enough in the Chelsea. If he'd have played 5 years in the Chelsea team, then they would have gone on to win the European Cup again.
But I mean, when you're looking and trying to see where you're going to put them in the side, it's just a.
Well, the thing about Gullit, he could play anywhere as well.
Well, that's a good idea, being the sub, isn't it?
Well, absolutely.
You know, back in the day, it was only one sub.
I've tried to go for that.
We agree on Ruud Gullit.
A rubber dub for each unit in the team.
Okay, who's your next sub?
Charlie Cook.
Charlie Cook. Hey, the Scotsman on the wing.
And I'm embarrassed that I forgot Jimmy Greaves, but that's a different
Yeah, we left Jimmy out because he was in the 60s.
Yeah.
So you got with Charlie Cook. I played against Charlie. Yeah, he sort of sent the fullbacks dizzy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, twisted blood.
Yeah.
I must say.
Do you like Charlie Cook?
I was an apprentice when Chelsea bought Charlie, and I see him at his very best. When he was come down from Dundee, I see him at his absolute best. And I don't think when I got in the team, I think he was going downhill at a very early age.
Really?
Chelsea, he done magnificent things when he first got there. I think his teaming up with Tommy Baldwin and going down to King's Road.
Yeah, it was Lulu.
Well,
I was a kid and I saw it. It was Lulu.
Well, going out.
He'd come in and go,
going out having a drink with Sponge down King's Road. You join him?
Yeah. But I could do that.
He'd come in.
Professional drinker.
Yeah, he'd come in. Charlie would come in. I've had a great idea, lads. Like that. And what's that, Chess? And he said, he'd strip off and he'd go, I'm a yard quicker. He shaved all his body. All his legs. He just, like Lulu.
He must have been out with the Sponge.
Yeah, but what happened? Was
you with him that day?
Did you ever do that?
No. Cost me a yard and a half.
But Charlie Cook,
when you wanted a breather, you give it to Charlie.
Yeah.
If you wanted a breather,
he went over the States, didn't he?
Yeah, he's still there. He's still coaching.
I actually played then. Charlie took me. He had an indoor soccer team there. Yeah. I can't remember where it was. I actually played a couple of games
California.
for him. Right, yeah.
But he was telling me last time I see him, he's coaching with Rivellino. He said he'd never seen anyone with so much ability. So we're talking about Charlie Cook and he's talking about Rivellino.
Yeah.
And that's why,
They're two brilliant players.
But
Charlie Cook was a great player.
One Scottish and one Brazilian. And, where's the English,
Right, so give me your next sub. Hoddle.
Again, Hoddle didn't play long enough at Chelsea, but that's why he's not in the first 11.
Would you say Hoddle was, he's obviously right up there as a real top player, but...
Oh, he was magnificent. He made his debut against me at Stoke, and he was fantastic. And,
you could see it right away with him?
Oh, absolutely. He was a genius, yeah.
As a young kid coming in?
As a fantastic player. I don't think England see the best of him. Management again, but he wouldn't really like me. He wouldn't like. Mind you, it's not a bad bench so far, is it?
Well, no. I mean, Hoddle obviously.
I mean, they would be the first two on anyone's
pure
team
quality,
sheet, wouldn't they?
Yeah, no, definitely. What Hoddle? Are you in with the camp with him?
I agree with all the sentiments about him.
Right.
I think
what is it you disagree with? You got someone better on there?
Not necessarily better, just different.
Right.
And he was Chelsea to the core. And he was a class act. And he never had a bad word to say about anybody. And when he walked in the room...
who is it?
When he walked in the room, it was like Frank Sinatra had walked in.
Don't mention Frank.
Ray Wilkins.
Okay.
I've gone with Ray Wilkins.
Right.
So if that was
he was a Chelsea.
We've gone. Listen, my firm's gone 3-0 up. We just have like.
You're actually saying Ray Wilkins was as good as Glenn Hoddle?
No. I'm not saying that. No,
No,
it's a different
he
debate.
said
I'm just saying.
It's not a different debate.
I agree.
He can go in your team.
I agreed with every sentiment that you said about Glenn Hoddle, and I thought he was massively underused at England level, massively under. I agree with the fact that he was a genius. I agree with the fact that he could do everything with a ball, but like you quite rightly
a different
said,
dimension.
yeah, he was, yeah, and he'd scored more goals than Ray.
Right.
But just I'll put Ray there, just like purely and simply.
Your lineup, he suits that.
Maybe like a little bit, romantic, rose-tinted glasses. 2 age groups above me, but my era.
Ray, if you're watching up there,
yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah,
it was
John's picture.
You don't win World Cup rose-tinted glasses, mate.
No, I know. It's that's just my.
No, it's sentiment, isn't it?
So you picked 6.
Maybe
you picked 6. Who's your next one?
I've gone. Hold on. I've gone just to cover the fullback area on that thing there. Sorry, the centre back area. I've gone Desai. That's all.
Desai.
Yeah, and then the other geezer, he was explosive.
Let's talk about Desai quickly then. Now, you haven't.
No, he was a World Cup captain, wasn't he?
There's no doubt. I mean, obviously, you could put him in the back of that defence immediately, and he's just another tremendous player that Chelsea have had over the years.
Yeah. He didn't really impress me that much. I don't know. Something about him. He seemed to come at the right time for Chelsea when they were winning everything and they had a good side, they had a good setup, they had it all under guard. Some of these players I'd like to see playing bad teams,
Yes.
Yes. So, I mean, going along with John said earlier on, I was thinking about a player, because I only believe in 3 subs. I think you should have a goalkeeping sub, a defensive sub,
midfield and a forward,
and a call it a forward.
Yeah,
someone who can play in midfield or forward. And John mentioned David A earlier on, and I see him play for Celtic. I played against him actually at Stoke one day. He weren't that good that day, enough, but I would have him as a sub because he could play anywhere.
He could sort of come out the back with the ball.
He could
David
play,
couldn't he?
He could play.
Was
I've got him down here. I've got him down here. Yeah.
David A, you haven't picked that
one. We're not always having a row. I agree.
No,
make hay by the sunshine.
I've been wrecking my brains to try and come up with a player that could come off the bench and play anywhere along the back. And you've come in and you've done it for me, John.
I've got a nice little. It's a nice little symmetry here, Al. Right, I'll tell you what it is. Right.
No. When they the money all the time.
No, when they sold you, when they sold you the money that they got for you, they spent it on David A.
Yeah, there you go.
And got out himself. So there's a nice little symmetry there. And I agree. That's why I got him down.
Right.
They play anywhere across the back. And if you have a look.
Well, that is a massive call, you two. David A, both of you got him. That's tremendous.
He's a great call,
really is
played
tremendous.
A good Celtic.
And I dare say a lot of the Chelsea fans wouldn't have come up with him either.
No, they wouldn't.
And have a look on YouTube. He out-Braziled the Brazilians in the 74 World Cup. Trust me.
Yeah.
No, he played centre midfield. He out-Braziled the Brazilians. Oh. And he had that skill, and he was an unbelievable athlete. You had to train up close and personal.
Have we missed anybody? I mean, little Dennis Wise, he was good for Chelsea. He might not have been, he had a position.
No.
Little Wisey.
I've come up against him a couple of times. I was desperate to iron him out. I'll come up. I've heard stories of him whimpering behind the bar. I can't have the geezer. I can't have the Chelsea and all the rest of it. Yeah. And I know, and everyone, we're all chaps together and all that, but I can't have the geezer. No.
So
don't ask me to put Dennis Wise in front of Ray Wilkins.
No, he was a good Chelsea captain.
A bench player. He done well at the bridge. But tell me anybody else you got down there, because we're going to finish this one.
The only other one I got done is Vialli. I thought he was clever, crafty. He'd nick a goal. Could be explosive. In terms of nicking the yard.
Let's move on. All right. No.
My last one is Hazard. My last one is the other Hazard.
Right. Put your
Hazard
lights on.
Mickey Hazard.
Mickey Hazard was
the most. What I like about Mickey Hazard, he was the most underrated player at Spurs. I see him play so many times.
He had a style about him, didn't he?
He was a fabulous footballer. He was a great little footballer. I see him play alongside Hoddle and our dealers. Right. And the amount of times, what he didn't do, this fella. He's a fantastic player. He went to the bridge. And I played against him one day. It was quite brilliant. I was playing for Chelsea reserves at White Hart Lane, and he was playing for Spurs reserves. And how we couldn't get in the team at Spurs was probably similar because I couldn't get in the Chelsea team. but I'd just come back and see how I was past my best, and he was taking a throw-in. I never knew him,
Right.
but I'd seen him play all these times. I thought he was a terrific little player. And as the ball was going to leave his arms, he went to me, "Now I know how you feel."
Yeah.
He really did, and I never knew him. And it was
What
just
was there? 400 there? 500?
No, there
fans?
weren't that many people.
No?
There must have been 100 people.
Really?
Yeah. And he went to me, "Now I know how you feel," and he just laughed, and I laughed, and we just went out. And
what are we doing here?
And now he's a cab driver, and I you're a cab driver.
He was one of the first out to qualify. He was one of the first. Yeah.
I'd love to jump in his cab and tell him.
I mean, I played
He lived down my road.
I played against
him
him
a
a few
neighbour.
times.
He was my neighbour.
Right.
Years ago, when I first got married, first house I bought, I lived at number 1. He lived at number 2. He was a great lad.
You ever play against him?
No, I think, yeah.
See
I did League Cup.
Mickey,
we beat Spurs 2-0 in the League Cup.
Right.
I got man of the match.
Yeah.
I got booked in the first minute, then I had to get my head screwed
How'd you get man of the match? What do you make?
Because I played out of my skin. I played out of my skin.
Seek and destroy. Seek and destroy.
All that little firm you've named. All that little firm you named. You know what I mean? It's one of them nights where I turned it on.
He's the enforcer. The enforcer. Right, now listen. That is it. The best Chelsea team picked by the guys. And as you said, when you play with players, like when Ozzy's not playing and you're in the team, you think, God, you really do miss him.
Absolutely.
And that is a big point, that you know who the class guys are. And I really do love the teams, love your selections, love what you spoke about the players and why you picked him.
I was told when I was a kid, I was told to watch him by Ken Shalato. He said he's the best defender in the club.
Dempsey.
Yeah.
And when he was at Fulham, I watched him as well.
He's clever, he's crafty.
Yeah.
He knows to wait.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
So, it's sort of like you've got to model yourself and someone like that.
As the chairman of the board,
yes,
whose team would you pick? John's or mine?
Well, I've got to be honest.
Well, you could change it again.
No,
we're not changing.
Hold on, look, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players you both agreed on.
That we've agreed on.
So there's only 4 that you didn't.
But I did a podcast on this the other day. He watched my podcast.
What Cavallo we didn't agree on? We didn't agree. He's got Dempsey, I've got Cavallo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Zola and Robin.
You got Zola.
Canty and Hudson, you picked Huddy.
Yeah, well, I've picked him.
I've got to go with this. I've got to go with this team. I've got to go with John. I'm going with John.
There you go.
He's picked Huddy. I agree with that.
Thanks, Tom.
So I know, but anyway, unbelievable team. Great picks. Good words about them all. Now, the big question is Chelsea, right now, today, Lampard, where are they going? In the beginning of the season, you didn't think they could maybe get any silverware. Have you changed your mind?
No, I never said that.
Or you thought, what did you say?
No. I said, I like Frank's truculence and defiance when he's interviewed.
Yeah,
he's bristling.
Yeah,
they've got his back up because he knows he weren't comfortable. I said, but if he gets the other end right, which touch wood, he has. I said they're in with a good shout.
Yep,
I think he's with a great shout.
Chelsea, we spoke about him early when we was over in Egypt doing a bit for the TV there, Al, and the season hadn't started. They bought all these players and they weren't sort of in the side, a few little injuries, but now they're all in, they're all playing. They do look the team to be with, don't they?
To be quite honest,
I mean, Huddy's never really complimentary about Chelsea over the years, but he actually loves this team, don't you?
Yeah.
I do. I'm stuck on truculence.
That is a big word for a Saturday morning, isn't it? Truculence. I thought we must drive a truck or something. Where do you get that one from?
Same sort of thing.
I think
so come on, let's talk about it.
I thought you found some big time. We were stupid not to back them at 14 to 1.
I'm absolutely ill. They're 14, 16 to 1 with first 4 places each way. They've been paid out already.
Yeah. You could, I mean, we couldn't bet them because they were so erratic at the back.
I mean, if you think of it, Giroud has scored 4 the other day. Yeah. Werner's missing goals at this moment in time. And they're the highest goal scoring team, I think, in the Premiership at the moment. They're going away in Europe and winning 3 or 4 nils. I mean, it's massive, isn't it?
I made a comment last week that if they had Harry Kane centre forward, they'd win the league, hands down.
Right.
Without a doubt. Because of the amount of chances they create. Frank believes in going forward. That's how he got so many goals himself, because he got forward as much as he could. And if they had Harry Kane centre forward, even if they let 3 in, they would win the championship. I think they'd be even money odds on.
Who do you think their best player is? Chelsea.
It's hard, isn't it? My favourite's just coming back. Out of everyone, he plays like a kid I played with. Billy Gilmore. I played with a kid called Jimmy Clare. I'm loving
that Billy Gilmore. He thinks highly of him, Frank, doesn't he? I mean, last year he put him in a few times, and he did look a good little player.
It looks a good.
I mean, you look at that sort of Foden at Man City. That sort of Gilmore's got that sort of quality as well.
Yeah, yes.
Who's your man? Who's yours?
It's interesting. It's interesting when you look at the Chelsea team and they're doing so well that they haven't really got. Everyone says, "I like him, I like him, I like him," but they haven't got a real outstanding. Well,
but that's what it is. It's a team, isn't
it?
That's where it comes from.
That's why I was struggling, Don, when you asked me. When you look at the thing the other week, like Werner's, he ain't scored, but he started to run the channels.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's laying it on for other people. They throw Pulisic on, and he does the one where he gets across the defender and slides it in.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to get too excited about beating Leeds. What it is I'll reflect on things like the 0-0 with Spurs.
Well, West Ham beat Leeds last night at Leeds, so
yeah. So I'm not going to get too G'd up about that. What they've got to do, they've got to win that mini league, that top 6 mini league, and whoever finishes above City and Liverpool, we know Spurs are in the mix, but I think whoever finishes above them will obviously win it. And I think Chelsea are a great shout. They really are. They've sorted the goalkeeper out. They've calmed it down in the
Chilwell looks a good buy, doesn't he?
Chilwell's a good buy.
We spoke about Reece.
One of the reasons Chelsea looked so good at this minute because Man City ain't that good. Liverpool,
but they're still looking like the real proper side out. They're not there by luck, are they? They're there because they're playing good football. No. They're creating lots of chances, and as John said, they seem to have sorted it out at the back.
Yeah, they've got both ends right,
which is real important.
Yeah. They're coming to the ball again, though. City, they were simmering, and in the last couple of results, they've smashed a couple.
So we've got to say well done to Frank and the team.
Oh yeah, marvellous.
And they do look like the entertaining team. If you're a Chelsea fan right now, whatever you're in, it looks as though you're going to enjoy your season.
Yeah.
And the bookies actually to win the Premiership, they've got Liverpool basically 15-8, Man City 2-1, Chelsea are 6s, and Tottenham are 13-2, 6.5-1. I mean, 6-1 at this moment. Chelsea, it's still decent. They're there now. At the beginning of the season, they were like a little bit shaky, as we spoke about.
Yeah.
But they're a 6-1 chance with a big chance.
What they're doing really well, if people go back, our podcasts, we said that they might struggle with the injury to Van Dijk. Then they picked up another couple. He'd done his hammy, wasn't it? Trent Alexander done his hammy, or someone else done their hamstring. What they've done, they've managed somehow to cope.
I know they brought 4 or 5 reserves in, and they've all done fantastic.
Which is where it's
I agree with Alan with Man City. I don't fancy that.
No,
I think they've we always talk about David Silva's gone, and
we've been
City seem to have gone.
Yeah, we've just been over to find out that he took his team near enough to the top of the Spanish league. So and they're obviously
Real Sociedad.
Yeah. So,
they're taking them by storm there.
Yeah. So, but we did say at the beginning of the season when they started so badly, that's a player they miss. Where Chelsea are not missing anybody.
No.
They've
improved their team. We spoke
slowly.
We spoke that last season Chelsea got into the Champions League. They got beat in the cup final. Arsenal beat them, wasn't it?
Yeah, fantastic first season for Frank.
And he bought 5 new players. That's 50% of a team, John.
Yeah,
and they're all in there now.
Yeah.
Silva, Chilwell, Werner, Ziyech, the winger, Havertz, whatever it is.
Yeah,
they've got 5 players. If someone said to you,
and the most important one, they bought a goalkeeper.
Yeah. So they got 6.
Yeah.
So you think you've got 6 and you've qualified for the Champions League. You've got to the cup final, and now you've got 6 players coming in your team who are better than the ones you had.
Yeah.
So I think that just sums it up.
That's why he bristled. I think he bristled a bit when he was doing the press conferences. You know what I mean? Because he knew.
He's got proud as a peacock now, sitting up there saying you all had a go at me, and now look where we are now. Yeah. Look how we're playing, which I think is tremendous. Now we've got to talk about the chosen one, Jose, Tottenham. I mean, Gareth Bale's come. He's not really having it off at the moment, is he? He's obviously improving in regards of getting a bit of time, getting that bit of sharpness back. But as you said, Harry came and song, like unbelievable.
I think like he went. What it is, he's got. It's almost as if he's got a massive point to prove because he got dug out. He's been dug out, and he went from the special one to special once, and now I think he feels like he's got a massive point to prove, and he's very adept at this reverse psychology. When they've done the thing, you were still out there, sunning yourself and all that. When they've done the thing, you've done the interview.
You look all right, don't
you? It's like an episode of Narcos. It's like sitting with a little firm from Netflix. Yeah,
absolutely.
He said,
"Carry on, Sir John."
He's just saying in bygone years, Don. He said 0-0 would have been a fantastic result at the Bridge, but he said I've got players in there. He said the best thing I can say is I've got players in there. They're disappointed. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like that little reverse psychology.
So you believe that? Yeah.
Well, me personally, I think he's having a little. I would go the total opposite now. You know,
well, the Tottenham fans all seem happy at the moment. They're all thinking, done the Arsenal, and Arsenal had all the possession, and like Jose has just.
They've been so long without success, and
they've been down there.
They're happy being second or third, but I mean, let's get one thing quite clear: we're not at Christmas yet.
Yeah,
you know, we're talking about.
What is it, 11 games or something? 12 games? 11 games?
We've had 11 games, and he's chirpy now because they've been about eight teams. 8 teams have been top of the league so far. Yeah. Every time they've gone. I'm not worrying. I don't think he ain't so special. I don't think.
No, special one. I think he's doing tremendous.
He is doing well, but I can't have the reverse psychology bit. You know what I mean? Where he's having half a pop at Frank. You know what I mean? Saying I've got players that are disappointed who've drawn 0-0 with your firm at the Bridge because they've won once in the last 34 years at Stamford Bridge, right? So he's saying they're disappointed that they never nicked the game. But me, I'd go the opposite because of their track record. I would be trying to build the belief and said, look, like, listen.
Where does winning at Stamford Bridge over the last 34 years come into the conversation?
Well, they never got nothing. Spurs being serious challenges.
So many. It's like all these. We've got so many foreign players playing in North London derbies and all this, so they don't even understand what North London derby is.
I'll get that.
And they don't even understand that.
That's why they're 15th.
They wouldn't know.
That's why they're 15th. Someone asked a question the other day: is Arteta a good coach coaching a bad side, and the opposite being is Solskjaer a bad coach coaching a good side? You understand? So
no, I don't understand because I don't see how Manchester United are a good side.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Well,
you shot
right.
So that argument.
we're gonna talk about now the first manager to get the sack. We spoke about it ages ago. I thought Solskjaer was guaranteed to, be the one first to go. We got Chris Wilder, Sheffield United. He's the sort of bookie's favourite, along with Ollie Gunnar.
That's outrageous.
Solskjaer. We got Slaven Bilic at West Brom, which obviously he's treading on a very slippery slope right now. We got Scott Parker at Fulham, who seemed to have get a few little results, and he's a little bit out of it now. And obviously the one we just spoke about, Mikel Arteta, he's a 7-1 chance. So Sheffield United would be a tough one if he was to go. I mean, last year, the lockdown, everything, they were doing real well. He's come back. They've had a disastrous start.
Yeah, listen, they got promoted. They've come and we did say, again, to everyone, go back through the podcast. We did say Sheffield United, could it be second season syndrome? Yeah. Right? But you can't keep asking managers to pull rabbits out of hats and performing magic tricks. He's had no money to spend. He was given no credit last year for innovative tactics. He had centre-backs whipping crosses in, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean?
I don't see Sean Dice there. I might have missed him. But, Burnley are...
That's another one.
Obviously, they've got to be a question what's going to go on. But I think, the way that Manchester United, they need to get silverware.
Anyone's had a bet on the first manager who got the sack has done their money already, isn't they? Because our no one's got the sack so far.
Maybe they'll get it at Christmas.
Well, they get.
Listen, they ain't had the tin tack. They ain't had the tin tack from Santa, right? They ain't had the tin tack because of COVID and all these sort of circumstances beyond their control, in inverted commas, right? I think what you said about Scott Parker, I think he's picked up the thread a little bit. They've had a couple of nice little results.
No, they've done bad at Man City, only 2-0.
The Arsenal, not renowned as sacking, Really?
Well, he's got all his team in there now, and he's got his whole. Arteta's got all his group in there. So if they were to sack him, the whole lot's got to go.
When you was away, we were picking up the thread and trying to do an extra podcast. Joe asked me about him, and I said I don't think Arteta's the problem. I think the problem is either above him and or below him. So you've got the players out on the football field who are not up to Arsenal standard, and then you've got all this moving the furniture behind the scenes, people coming in, going out, director of football, technical director, this, that.
Yeah.
There was two walked out of while you was out, just before you went out to Gran Canaria. So I just think once it all calms down and they steady the ship and he gets a proper play. Because what he said,
they've won the cup with him, haven't they?
They have.
At the end of the day,
looking at it,
the centre forward, he ain't scored a goal. Adebayang, is that how do we pronounce his name?
He'd be able to tell better than me. But the midfield, you look at the midfield, and I said to him, can you name one Arsenal midfield player who's either an out covered like an enforcer, covers every blade of grass, breaks up the play. The flip side, is there anyone in there creative, can thread a pass?
Obviously the Ozil situation.
No. Yeah, but
he's looks like he's going either the States or somewhere or whatever.
A third of a bar liability.
Should have got rid of him ages ago. But there must have been something why it must have upset a few people. So maybe Arsenal can come good again or whatever.
I don't think Arteta comes into the equation getting a sack. He won't get a sack this season, no matter what. They can't afford a sack him.
I'll agree with another Chelsea boy, Cundy, on TalkSport about him.
Right. Jason Cundy?
About the captain. The captain Kirk, the Turkish geezer,
right?
He's a flat track bully. He played well against the Norwiches and the Stokes and everything, but he goes on the missing list against the Spurs, the Man Uniteds, the Chelseas. Do you know what I mean? And you're paying $350 grand for that? Nah.
Fair enough. So we haven't really got an opinion. All of us. It is a tough one, isn't it?
Listen, the
media.
Wouldn't
want to be an Arsenal supporter at this moment, would you?
Well, Slaven Bilic, I should say, he's probably, if they get done again, West Brom,
he'd be the one. I'd have a cheeky tenner on him.
Yeah, they might have to sort of they go to Newcastle. You fancy Newcastle, don't you, to beat West Brom?
Well, Newcastle will be looking forward to playing this team today because if they win today, they go up to about 10th and they'll get a little bit dizzy, won't they?
Get the ball rolling a bit.
They got to beat teams like West Brom, and I've seen nothing in West Brom that convinced me that they're going to stay up.
They're going to leak goals, West Brom, it looks like.
Well, they've had a couple of performances where they've got beat 1-0 in the match.
They played well against Chelsea, and then they went 3-up, wasn't it? Was it a 3-3 draw?
Yeah, but you look around, Don, it's like having been through such trauma, right? You look at it, you say, well, if you're leaking goals at the back, if you've got no goals in the side, it's a recipe for disaster, mate.
We've been down that.
You know what I mean? Ollie, it is an interesting statistic because I think the media are digging him out. Right? I didn't realise. I know the thing is like virtual catastrophe, the European thing.
Yeah.
Right, but I didn't realise they won 9 away games on the belt.
Yeah.
And they're still digging him out. You know what I mean? So it's
whether talk about they've got Man City tomorrow, Man United, Man City, the local derby.
Yeah.
If City were to pile in 3 or 4, which they're more than capable of doing, wouldn't you say? How do you see that going, Man United, Man City tomorrow?
I would. My money would be on the draw tomorrow, I'm afraid.
The draw?
Yeah.
Oh, the draw. Have you gone for the draw as well?
I'm going.
You two are agreeing too much.
No, listen. I'll have it. I think they're just coming to the ball at just the right time. Man City, I'll have it on City.
I think
they're turning
they're going to get 2 or 3 goals for sure. Man City.
Man City.
Man City will get 2 or 3 goals tomorrow.
Will they?
Yes, they will. Yes. I don't know what Man United. Yes, you have heard it here first. I'm telling you that will happen. So come on, we got Everton, Chelsea. Come on, it's a bit of a 50 years down the road game. Tell us about
Chelsea. Well, that's as I said last week. They played Leeds last week and went top of the league. That was 1970.
Yeah.
They play Everton today. 1970, Everton won the league when we won the cup.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of something in here. It's a little bit spooky.
Eerie, isn't it? Eerie coincidence.
And I think Chelsea will have too much for Everton. I can see that they'll
Everton have disappointed me. I stuck them up early in the season.
They've gone backwards.
Wickle Carson, Rodriguez, Allen.
I'm gonna have to walk out in a minute. I'm agreeing with him again.
No, you can't. Please. Stop it. You can't be agreeing
Chelsea
with it.
every week, John, don't you? I mean, that's one thing you are with Chelsea. You are loyal.
Oh, yes.
You are loyal.
Mr. Six is a loyal Chelsea.
Barry said to me that Mickey Duff told him if you want loyalty, buy a dog.
Yeah. But I got to be honest. The way Everton are playing now, I think like Chelsea, you can't wipe the floor of them. If I'm honest.
It seems that way.
I can't believe they won't go up there and get at least a couple. And you got like Calvin Lewin seems the only one that's can score for that.
I'll be conservative, Don. I think by the odd goal.
The odd goal.
Yeah, one. I think 1-2.
He's going for draws. You're going.
I'll go to the old Emery.
I'm saying 2 or 3 goals.
2 or 3. Yeah.
So I mean, we got some massive games tomorrow. Fulham, Liverpool. There's one for the boys at the cottage. How do you see that one? I mean, Liverpool are like freeze on to go down there and cane them.
I don't know who's last.
I mean, we like Fulham. We want. Can they get anything out of the game?
No.
In a word?
No.
John?
Can't.
In a word, I agree. That's 2 words. That's 2 words.
Believe it.
That's another no. It's an emphatic no. I'll be honest with you. I look at the geezer at the back. I've seen better players in non-league. This Hector. Hector. And listen, I'm all for it in terms of ideology.
Yeah.
Right, but they're trying to do stuff. They just ain't got the players that are capable of playing through the 3/3. So me personally, Scott, I've said it on the previous pod when we was filling in. I said to Joe, I just think they should get into the middle and attacking thirds as quickly as possible. Forget the ideology, right? I think they're better players that are more forward players, more forward-thinking players, in terms of your midfield and your front players.
I'll cut you short.
Yeah, all right, mate. Yeah, okay.
The big game. Crystal Palace 5-1 at West Brom last week. Yeah. You fancied the Palace, didn't you? Sort of
big time,
score a few. Now they got Tottenham. Come on.
Something's got to give, innit?
Well, it's a sort of a local derby, the London derby, where I couldn't rule Crystal Palace out. Hello. 2-0 he's gone.
2-0 Spurs.
2-0 Spurs.
0-2.
0-2. Oh,
yeah, you know, going back to the special one in the corner there.
Yeah, the chosen one.
Well,
the special one and the chosen one.
The special one. He's gone to the special one to the chosen one to the happy one.
I'm not.
The only
listen,
one. The only one.
Have it right. My missus says, and she's right. Normally, I'm special needs. I'm not special.
He's on the orange. There's no vodka in there. It's all right. That's Addy's side.
Well, let's get it one thing straight. Crystal Palace won't get away with Spurs what they got away with at West Brom.
No, I agree.
Jose won't allow that to happen.
The guys are getting the red helped. The West Brom, the guys are getting the red. That helps.
Yeah, give them a bit of breathing space.
Bit of discipline.
Yeah, well, it might have only been 4-1 then.
Yeah.
He's on one.
He's on one. He ain't even drinking. Right? Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah. So look, we've had a great conversations today about it all. We've got charity bets now. SFI, Sport Fund Initiatives, Colin Howe. They put us every week to score on.
Hi, Cole.
By the way, thank you, Cole. He's well in front, Mr. Sitton. You know, follow the
I'm well behind.
I ain't picked anything yet. I have picked 2 or 3 and not doing too bad. So your charity bets, Alan, are going to be Newcastle will beat West Brom, you said?
Yes.
We spoke about like good time to play West Brom, Newcastle chance to race up the league. And you've gone for your old team, Chelsea, to get the job done.
I think we've just had the conversation. I think we all agree that they're moving on up, aren't they? They're going up. They're moving up a gear. They're moving up a gear, and they've got certain players coming back, and they're kind of. I mean,
they look a happy camp as well, Al.
Yeah,
they do. There's a lot of love in the air there. You can see a lot of camaraderie.
The spirit's fantastic.
Yeah, that's he's brought that in as well.
Well, he believes in that. Frank believes in that.
And I think that Silver at the back, the way he seems to talking to the guys, he seems a good dressing room guy as well as a good player.
Yeah.
Well, I think Frank's done his own work well. I told you the reason why he brought him, because he played so well in the European. He actually marked Drogba when he had the mask on for Inter Milan at the bridge.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And Frank played that night, and he that was a standout moment in his mind. And must have thought, if I ever go into management,
he'd be one for
it for later.
That is a good point.
Back, you know.
Stored it for
so we're talking about your bets now, John. You've gone a treble, win treble.
Yeah.
I agree. Man City to beat Man U.
Yep, go on.
You've gone to Chelsea, the same as Alan. I can't believe it. You
Can't
two
believe
are
I'm
doing
agreeing
it. It's
with him.
unbelievable.
The break's done him good.
Oh, dear Lord. He's coming to his senses now, isn't he? Yeah.
We'll be
He's
dating.
coming round slowly.
When we're going away
He's coming round slowly, yeah. And you've gone for your old mate, Harry Kane, you know his dad and family, and you've gone for the chosen one, Tottenham,
At Palace,
to win at Palace. So
Cheeky.
you've got Man City, Chelsea, Tottenham, all to win.
Cheeky treble.
You've gone for Newcastle to win and Chelsea to win. Well, I've gone with you in Newcastle, you in Man City, but I've gone with Southampton. I fancy Southampton to top Sheffield United tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a dodgy fixture, that is. Oh,
You reckon? Well,
Yeah.
Southampton are playing well, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, they seem to be scoring
They
on
are
a regular
playing-
basis.
they're
They got that
fantastic.
Ward-Prowse, give him a free kick,
Well,
25 yards out, and just.
I'm hoping it's you rather than me, but you know, every weekend there's always a custard pie, isn't there? And I think that could be the custard pie.
Oh no,
They're
Sheffield
scrapping, they're
United.
scrapping for their life.
Well, they
Sheffield
are, but you
United.
still got to have the quality to win the games.
Win
You know,
the
they can have a scrap, they can do what they like, but you still got to
You ain't
go
lying.
out and perform.
ain't
You
lying.
know,
Yeah.
Who am I to question you two?
yeah. Mr. Hudson.
Mr. Hudson.
Yeah,
Well, you
Lord Hudson.
You've got him my side. He's got him my side, and he's having
did,
a pop.
I
He's
know,
still got
I
him.
know.
Nah, I don't want to play. He's giving it all.
Yeah, Addy, he's now back with Chelsea, boys. You're all right.
Ulterior-
I
he's
hope
got-
you're all
he-
watching him.
He's got an ulterior motive. I know that.
Go on.
I don't know what it is.
We don't know what it is. Tell me later.
I'll
Attack
find out. I'll find out.
I know you will.
I like we're sort of
Attacking.
attacking.
That's my motive. It was a
We
great-
have picked
great
attacking
practice.
teams today. We picked teams
Very
who get the
attacking
job done.
Yeah.
You know, we really have. But one thing we want to sort of finish up the show. We've had a great debate on Chelsea and the team and everything and how they're doing today.
50 years.
50 years of football, and they've won loads of things. You know what I mean? They really have. You know, they've been a great London team, and you know, West London
But it was
team
only,
as
it was
well.
only since our team 70 that started it.
Well, you did, yeah. We've got the medal with Real Madrid and all
Well,
that.
we
It's,
broke-
it's
we-
John
we broke-
Dempsey scoring the
broke
goal.
new ground.
Athens.
Yeah,
Whenever he scored.
right. They like that, me. But we want to sort of finish it off. It was really nice to see that Raul Jimenez, the Mexican, who had the terrible injury at Arsenal, we had the fractured skull.
He's back.
He's come into the dressing room. He said hello to the boys, and like you could see everybody. They were so happy to see him.
Yeah, thank you.
Nuno was,
Yeah.
you know, we was over in Canaries. I said, oh my God, I really thought it was the worst. It could have been horrendous. And
could
you
have
could see Nuno and all the staff, they were ashen faced. They were like in shock. And so it's such a beautiful
I
thing.
was
And
watching it, Don.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you this. I heard it
yeah,
on
oh,
the telly.
yeah, it
and
makes
you
me
just think, oh,
How could you do it?
you just, well, with
like
my
a bit
ears,
of
I
a
can hear
crack,
anything.
yeah.
But like, it
Undercover.
come through the
Yeah.
thing. It come through the thing, Don. I just thought, oh my God, if it was, God forbid, he weren't going to get up. But yeah,
You know, so I mean, apparently he joined them for breakfast yesterday, and everybody sort of welcomed him back. It's a long process to get back,
Yeah,
get the
it will be.
confidence, but
Yeah.
so pleased that he's back in.
Because
In-
he's
in-
a top player.
Yeah. Oh, yes, he's tremendous. He's tremendous from them. You know, so glad for him, glad for Wolves, and everybody in football is pleased to see him back where he should be.
Yeah.
Have you got
Yeah,
this
definitely.
soft spot for Mexicans?
Yeah, I like a bit of tacos and stuff, you know, a bit of Mexican food, you know. But no, I like him as a player. Come on, we do like him, you know. I mean,
love him as a
Traore
player.
probably is going to miss him more than anyone. He like slings them in and he heads them in,
Yeah.
you know. So
No,
well pleased for that,
welcome home.
you know. So anyway, we're cutting it off now. And from me, John Shanks, Alan Hudson, John Sitton,
Cheers, Don.
nice to see
Good
you
job.
again.
Well
Well
We're
done,
all
mate.
back.
Nice to see you.
We've had a great holiday.
Watching Sundance are back, people.
Thank you to the Grosvenor, Gloucester Road Casino, Assam and all the team
Thank
and
you,
everybody.
Colin. I'm going to get my first win.
Colin
double,
Al, the £20 charity bets. Alan said he is going to cop this week. What do
I
you
will
reckon?
do.
No.
I will do.
No, he's one thing is he's consistent.
No.
So from us all, cheers. Stay
Cheers,
safe,
everyone.
everybody. Good luck and enjoy your football.
God bless.
That must have been about an hour and 15.